not so much that you don't like being first, it's just that you like finishing, the sense of accomplishment, right?
Oh, heck yes.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I mean, it's just as, I think we share the same mindset. It's just like, I just want to finish. I want to say that I'm a checklist type of guy. I just like things getting done.
Right.
And so just to be able to say at the end of the day, I finished. That's enough for me personally. And
right. And I know I could be faster, and I could, I could probably not be last, but I have to work really hard to do it.
Right.
And for me, I tried doing that. I signed up for a half Ironman, and which is a half Ironman is a 1.2 mile swim in the ocean, a 56-mile bike ride, and then a half marathon at the end. And I knew that I was going to be slow, and I knew that, and there's cutoffs at each leg, and I knew there was a really high chance that I wasn't going to meet the high cutoffs. But I wanted to do it just to test myself and to see where I was at.
Absolutely.
And I did the swim. I missed the swim cutoff by like a minute and a half.
You told me about that.
But they let me go on.
Right.
And I did the bike, but I missed the bike cutoff by 3 minutes, and they did not let me go on. But I was okay with that because that was more than I'd ever done. Swimming 1.2 miles and then riding a bike 56 miles. That was, for me, that was a huge accomplishment itself.
Right.
And that bike ride was so hard, and I just kept asking myself, what do I have left in the tank for the run, right?
Yeah.
So, even though I would have liked to continue on the run, I just didn't make the bike cutoff. And so then I signed up for the next year just because I wanted to be able to check that box.
Of course.
But then the training is so long and it's so hard, and because I'm so slow, I'm out there training 2 times, sometimes 3 times longer than the fast athletes, and so it would take up my entire day off or my entire day after work.
Right.
And then it just stopped being fun, and it was just work.
Yeah, that's when it's time to kind of like scale back a little bit.
I had to, and I was miserable. I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta work out today. Ugh. And I never want to feel like that, And then I was just getting like, I was angry because I either didn't work out hard enough or I didn't work out at all, and then I had to stop back and say, you know what, this is not fun anymore. So I stepped back, and I didn't do it the second year, and it was the best decision I could have made at the time because, it was, I told me, it was like sucking all the fun out of it.
Yeah.
And for me, I just do triathlons for fun.
Right. And that's such an important point. I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of the times when we get into, we get these goals that we want to achieve, and they're good goals, but like when there becomes an imbalance, it becomes counterproductive to why we're even doing it.
I couldn't go to any friends or family events because I had to wake up crack of dawn and train in the morning, and I had to be in bed by 6, and I couldn't have that beer that I wanted to have when at the barbecue or whatever, and it just, that was not a fair trade-off in my mind. I I disassociated myself from all my friends and family just so I could train. That just stopped being fun.
Yeah, definitely important to develop that lifestyle balance.
You definitely had to have to balance.
For sure. I want to segue into the nutrition aspect of it because for sure you weren't doing all these triathlons and half Ironmans eating donuts and cereal all day.
No.
So take us into your meal plan. If there was trial and error, did you have a nutritionist? How'd that work?
I did not have a nutritionist. It was definitely trial and error, and I took a lot of advice from other athletes, but what worked for one of my friends, it wasn't working for me. So I really had to kind of try to see what I could eat, because you have to be able to eat on the bike. You have to be able to, take something in on the run more than just water, or you're not going to finish the race. You're gonna bonk is what they call it. And I have a very touchy stomach, and I found out I could eat certain things on the bike, but when it came to running, there wasn't hardly any food I could put in my stomach at all. And I had to try some of the different electrolytes, and some of the ones that were super sweet were, no bueno for my stomach. So I really had to test a lot of different electrolytes to figure out which ones I could take that wouldn't upset my stomach.
Yeah.
And what kind of food I could eat on the bike that wouldn't make my run horrible.
Right. Isn't it amazing how when we do these feats, we learn more about our bodies than we ever knew?
Right.
And, there's been times where I've had to switch something up because I'll get nauseated if I eat that or drink that before or after a workout. And so everyone's body is different. I'm sure I'll be able to eat that stuff that you weren't able to, and then maybe vice versa, you would be able to do the same. So that's a good point. Like when we when we go on these like athletic feats and stuff, it really allows us to understand our bodies, what it likes and what it doesn't like. I think is so key. Okay, so I also want to segue now into you like to cook.
Yes.
You like to cook a lot, and you cook well. Where should I start? How did you get into cooking? Did you say you went to
culinary school.
Okay.
I went to culinary school, and I fell in love with cooking probably when I was about 10.
Right.
But I didn't go to culinary school until I was an adult. I called it my midlife crisis. And I just it's definitely my happy place. It's always been my comfort, and my love for cooking for people has been there my whole life.
Right. And speaking of which, do you know of any catering companies that you might recommend in the Bakersfield area that you may want to share?
Oh my goodness, catering companies.
Maybe you have one, perhaps?
Well, I have. Well, mine is not a catering company. I'm a personal chef.
Oh, okay.
So what I do is I go into people's homes and I cook multiple meals for them, and I package them in their fridge and freezer, so all they have to do is come home and finish cooking.
Gotcha.
So they don't have to do a lot of work in the kitchen.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was trying to plug you in right there. I was like, is it catering or is it?
Yeah.
But how long have you been doing that for? Because that's really.
Well, I've been doing that since 2011 as well.
Okay.
And
the name of it is?
Crawford's Cuisine.
Crawford's
Personal
Cuisine.
chef service.
And you have a website, right?
I do. It's
okay.
www.crawfordscuisine.com, and I'm also on Facebook and Instagram under Crawford's Cuisine.
There you go, ultimate plug. And I'll also make sure I plug that link into the YouTube description box as well too. What do you like about cooking for people? Because I noticed that with cooks, you guys just don't like making delicious food. You guys like seeing people's reaction to the food, right?
Right. I mean, it's no fun cooking for someone who doesn't enjoy what I'm making for them.
For sure.
But gosh, I forgot the question already.
No, what do you enjoy about cooking?
Oh, I don't know. It's just.
Or maybe that was it, just like their reaction, right?
Right. I just, I just love feeding people. I just love feeding people, and I love cooking for different types of people because it pushes me out of my comfort zone. When somebody asks me to cook something I've never cooked before, they say, hey, can you do this? And I said, well, yes, of course I can do that. And then I run up, and then I go research it, and then I practice it, and then I cook it for them.
For sure.
So, I've learned how to cook different types of foods that normally I would not have eaten myself.
Right. And you've also said that you've meal prepped for athletes, right?
Yes.
I think maybe a boxer or some. Okay.
Yeah.
So you do like different sorts of.
I've done paleo. I've done low carb. I've done some keto. That's really hard.
Yeah.
And when I was cooking for the athlete, that was really hard because meal planning was like a 2-day process because I had to count sugars and fats and calories for each meal and calories for the whole week, and so. It's pretty extreme.
Yeah, and I can imagine that a lot of your clients are weight loss with their fitness goals, or is it just that they don't want to cook, or what do you find?
It's kind of a mixture of a lot of different. I've cooked for a bachelor, and I've cooked for families. I've cooked for athletes. I've cooked for people who are on strict diets because of losing weight or just because they had certain health issues. So it's kind of like the pretty broad spectrum of people.
Right. Nice. And it makes you a better cook at.
Absolutely.
Is it cook or chef? Which one should I say? Doesn't matter.
Chef.
Okay, chef sounds more efficient, so we'll go with chef. Well, hey, this has been great so far. I like to always have my guests wrap up each episode with something motivating that they can leave with our listeners, whether it's a motivational quote, a saying, something that can kind of spark some motivation in our listeners based upon your journey that you've had.
Well, I'd say that what I learned from triathlon was, because I remember watching Kona on television. That's really the only one that televised, or used to anyway.
Right.
And I just always wanted to be that person. But I wasn't an athlete, and I didn't like running, and I never thought I could do it. And what I realized when I crossed the finish line of my first triathlon was all those years of me wanting to do it, the only thing that was holding me back was me.
Right, well, yeah.
And so you have to sometimes push yourself out of your comfort zone. And great things are beyond that comfort zone.
Right, taking that first step.
Taking that first
Great
step.
message. I absolutely agree. Perfect. Okay, so at the end of each, or the very end of each episode, I like to lighten it up a little bit, or, well, the mood's already light, but I like to switch it up a little bit and ask some rapid fire questions just to see how you think and allow us to know a little bit more about you. And so, are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Are you ready? Okay, here we go. What's the first thing you think of when you wake up?
Food.
Would you rather be a master of every musical instrument or be fluent in every language?
Fluent in every language.
Would you rather be a deep sea diver or an astronaut?
Astronaut.
You said that confidently. Why so?
I don't know. Space exploration is pretty cool.
Yeah? I'd rather go into the water. I don't know. That one's hard. Would you rather take a guaranteed $100,000 or a 50-50 shot at $1 million?
I'll take the 100,000.
Me too. Tacos or pizza?
Tacos.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Breakfast or dinner?
Dinner.
Netflix or YouTube?
YouTube.
You're the first YouTuber.
You know, I've learned a lot of things.
That's what I was going to say. I learned a ton off of YouTube. I like Netflix documentaries too.
I learned how to fix a kayak.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe I'm YouTube. Money or free time?
Free time.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Winter or summer?
Summer.
What did you want to be as a kid growing up?
A ballerina.
Ah, very nice. One person, dead or alive, you'd love to have dinner with?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's my favorite question.
My grandfather.
Ah, nice. Very nice. If you can, last question. If you can be any animal in the world, what would it be and why?
Oh, wow. If I could be any. A cheetah, because they're fast.
A cheetah. Is that your favorite animal?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much like a what's your favorite animal sort of question. I just never realized that. But hey, it works out. Well, hey Tracey, I thank you so much for your time. You came on short notice. I'm excited to speak at your triathlon club tomorrow, and thank you so much. I'm sure our listeners got a ton from this, and good luck moving forward in your journey.
Thanks very much for having me.